Somehow, Jedi Bob returned. But was it worth the wait? Let's find out. Hello everybody, the Brickologist here with another new LEGO Star Wars set review. Today we have set number 75388, Jedi Bob Starfighter. This set retails for about $40 US. Yeah, you heard that correctly. More on that price later in the video. And it contains 305 pieces. I found my copy released early at my local Target, and here is a front look at your box with the Rebuild the Galaxy branding that has some somewhat interesting color choices. The back of the box showcases some of the play features found within this set. Included with this set is one instruction manual of 96 pages of building, and there is a single advertisement at the back for the rest of the Rebuild the Galaxy sets. I'll definitely be picking up the Dark Falcon at some point, but the X-Wing TIE Fighter set looks so tacky to me, I am not buying that. It's a hard pass. Despite being a highly unique, non-canonical LEGO Star Wars set, this is the most typical LEGO Star Wars lineup you'll ever see. 3 minifigures and a spaceship. Let's look at those figures here first. First up, for the minifigures included with this set, we have SRVO, aka Servo, who is a gonk droid that does have a pretty cool color scheme, I will admit. However, this just looks like a bunch of random pieces from your parts bin were thrown together. There is nothing unique about this figure whatsoever, and I also find it very weird this set does not come with an astromech droid. That would be a very logical figure to include with a Jedi Starfighter set, but instead we get this kind of half-assed gonk droid. Not a huge fan of this fig. The middle minifigure here is an Akbar Trooper, and this is Admiral Akbar's head on a clone trooper's body, so the name is quite literal. And look, the Akbar head looks fantastic, the printing for the clone troopers looks great as well, but together it makes for one very bizarre and confusing figure. Maybe we'll get some more context when Rebuild the Galaxy actually comes out in September, but as of now, I really don't know what the heck is going on. The printing is still good front and back, but it's just a weird and strange, confusing minifigure. Last and certainly not least, the main attraction of this set is the return of Jedi Bob as a LEGO minifigure, something fans have been clamoring for years. Now, if you don't know who Jedi Bob is, honestly, I don't blame you. It is kind of an inside baseball reference within the LEGO Star Wars community, so let me try and explain it for you here real quickly. Basically, in the year 2002, Attack of the Clones was coming out in theaters, and LEGO released sets to coincide with the release of said film. The biggest set, the flagship set if you will, from that wave was the original Republic gunship, which came with a plethora of minifigures, including a brick-built droideka, a couple of super battle droids, and of course 4 clone troopers. Alongside all those characters was also an unnamed Jedi Knight. He had no name, he was just referred to as a Jedi, and instead of giving us a character like Kit Fisto, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Mace Windu, etc., they just gave us a generic Jedi character. The LEGO Star Wars community then basically coined the guy Jedi Bob, giving him a very generic name, and he's kind of become a meme, a legend if you will, within the LEGO Star Wars community. And with LEGO retracing their roots a lot more than they used to, people have been wanting them to remake Jedi Bob for years. There was a big campaign to include him with the 2021 UCS Republic gunship set, but it did not happen. But now, 22 years after his first appearance, we finally have Jedi Bob back in LEGO minifigure form, and things haven't really changed all that much. This figure is supposed to emulate that original figure. Now, LEGO has changed colors of plastic since then. Brown is different, gray is different, they no longer use the chrome hilt for the lightsabers, and even the lightsaber blade green is a different color. But beyond that, it's the exact same minifigure with some apparent wear and tear. They're trying to make it look like he's been played with throughout the years, kind of similar to how Benny looks from the Lego movie, and I think that's a pretty fun design. Additionally, he also now has a double-sided face, something he did not have back in 2002, but everything else is pretty much the same. They use the same hood piece, he has no back printing. It is a really nostalgic and cool figure, and probably the best part is the yellow skin skin. LEGO stopped doing yellow skin for Star Wars minifigures just a couple years after the original Jedi Bob came out in 2004, so it's really unique getting a yellow skin figure here in 2024, and this figure is a dream come true for so many collectors, and it's going to be the main selling point of this entire set. Here it is, Jedi Bob Starfighter itself. This is a highly interesting design because it's kind of an amalgamation between a couple different types of Jedi Starfighters. It very clearly is inspired by the classic version from Attack of the Clones used by Obi-Wan Kenobi, but it also clearly draws some inspiration from the Azure Angel, aka Anakin's custom Jedi Starfighter from the original Clone Wars show back in 2003. The main similarity between this and Anakin's custom Jedi Starfighter are the big engines at the front, which really differentiate them from all the other Jedi Starfighters, and they look fantastic here, using some relatively new pieces along with an ice skate piece on the inside for some added detail. That might be my single favorite design on this entire set. While we're at the front of this vehicle, I love the way this comes to a very sharp point. That's actually something they've struggled to do on other Jedi Starfighters, but nailed here. In fact, that sharp angle aesthetic is found throughout this entire build, especially with the red aesthetics here that go all the way around the ship. Those just look really cool. The striping on the wings here is pretty much all brick built and very effectively done, and you can see the color scheme, which is mainly white, red, and dark gray. Now I will say the red seems a bit generic, but since it's dark red, it helps it stand out amongst the pack of other Jedi Starfighters. I was worried it looked a little bit too similar to Obi-Wan's, but actually it's not that big a deal. I still would have loved to have seen this set maybe be orange though. One big difference I wanted to point out between this set and Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter from 2022 are the lack of gaps on the new set. You can see on Obi-Wan's here there are massive gaps between the fuselage and the wings. However, the new one, they completely fixed that issue and it looks so much better. Another thing this ship has in common with the Azure Angel are the big guns on the side of the wings, and they're fairly simple designs here but get the job done, and of course there also are spring-loaded shooters underneath those. Just push on that and they should fire very effectively. The back section of the wings, which provide the dark gray aesthetic, has some stickers here, but they're actually pretty well integrated into the build, and I like the triangle shape and how it angles out here. All of that is really well done. Moving back towards the center of the Jedi Starfighter, there are a couple more stickers with added detail, and then actually this piece right here can simply be taken off to reveal a small interior storage compartment that features a banana, kind of a weird thing to see in Star Wars, and a carton of blue milk. Love the reference with the latter. And moving behind that brings us to the cockpit of this set, which of course can open up to reveal the interior. Now, I don't love the gaps. You can kind of see my fingers through there. That's not my favorite thing, but there is a nice headrest on the seat and a printed control panel, and of course you can fit your Jedi Bob figure inside there, even with his cape piece, which is very nice. And don't you worry about losing his lightsaber. There are clips on the bottom to hold that. There's also another one you can maybe put one of the extra missiles on if you so choose. And while we're down here, we can look at the one retractable landing gear for this set. The rest of the vehicle just rests on this piece back here. Finally, from behind, you have a pretty simple but very nicely done design for this fin, and then you have 3 engines which look very cool, and that kind of breaks the mold from the usual 2 we see on normal Jedi Starfighters. So, does Jedi Bob Starfighter live up to the hype? As a build, I think it absolutely does. This is a very fun and unique ship design that I quite enjoy putting together, and I can't wait to add it to my Jedi Starfighter display on my shelf. This is a really great build that's honestly nearly perfect, besides some small gaps inside the cockpit. Unfortunately, there are 2 big issues with this set that will end up in a couple of points being deducted from my final score. The first one, the minifigures. Yes, Jedi Bob is spectacular, no doubt about that. However, the other 2 figures are so boring, especially when you compare them to the other figures that come in the rest of the Rebuild the Galaxy sets. They just feel like afterthoughts. I really think LEGO could have gotten more creative with those figures. Not a big fan. And then of course the biggest issue with this set, to nobody's surprise, is the price. $40 for a Jedi Starfighter just feels so inherently wrong to me, especially when you consider the fact that Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter came out just 2 years ago and was only $30. There is no way there has been $10 worth of inflation in between then. Maybe a couple of dollars, and this one does have a few more pieces and it is a little bit bigger, so I could see like 33, maybe even 35 if I were feeling generous, but 40, nah man, that is way too high to pay for this thing. Definitely wait for a 20% off Amazon sale if you're not crazy like me and want to buy it as soon as possible. Other than that though, this is a delightful set that I am stoked to add to my collection, and I think it's a must-have for any massive LEGO Star Wars fan. That's why it's going to get a really solid rating still of an 8 out of 10. Those are my thoughts though. I'd love to hear yours in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching today's review. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out. God bless. Bye-bye.